Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do the weekly reading. So this reading is for the week of the 13th to the 19th of October and is for the sign of Taurus. Taurus, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, for all the beautiful things you do for me. I am very grateful. Please remember these readings are only general, will not resonate with everybody. Sorry, there's too many there, put them back. And don't try to make them fit. If you don't understand them, move on. Okie dokie. Using the Witch's Tarot here. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands coming straight out here. Now the Seven of Wands is a card that talks of defending yourself. It's about defending or standing your ground here. This can be because people are opposing you, coming against you. Could be in a physical way or it could be in an emotional way. Okay, so behind that we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords talks of wanting to tell a truth. Now the things with the pages, they're only very young energy, they're only little. So this is not a card of action. It's somebody sending a text or a message. It can be an apology, and it also can be someone stalking you via the internet. This is very much the card of looking to see where people are and what they're up to. Wow, okay, and then you have the card of balance here with Temperance. And the Temperance card talks of divine timing, things happening in their right time, right place. And then we have the Victory card. So there's some sort of situation here that you're defending. You're trying to find balance through this situation. And I think you're keeping a little eye on things to see what the outcome will be. But when I see the Victory card, I see that you are having victory through this situation. So whatever it is that you're fighting for, defending yourself against, or trying to protect yourself against, you will come out on top here. Okay, so the first card out is the Hermit. So the Hermit is the card of taking time out to have a look at what you want, where you're going, who you are. It often comes at a time where you are pushed into thinking differently, transformations, and needing to take time out to rethink how to move forward. Okay, and then we have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is a card of taking time out as well. This is to look at things from a different perspective. Sometimes we intentionally put ourselves in this space, but sometimes we're sort of forced into this by, not perhaps agreeing with other people. It's sort of a holding pattern. And it can be that if you're looking inside with the Hermit, that you've taken time out here because what the Hermit is showing you is another way of looking at things. So you could have pushed yourself into a time of, perhaps quiet, trying to balance things out, which we saw with the Temperance card there, but also trying to see things differently. So if you've been watching someone or someone's watching you, because it could be the other person here, it could be that there's been some sort of disagreement, situation where somebody has done something that the other person hasn't agreed with, and you're looking here to try and see it from their perspective rather than your own. Six of Cups denotes childhood. Sometimes it can talk about people coming back from the past. It can also talk about nostalgia, reminiscing, enjoying good times. It can talk of childhood trauma, things happening in childhood that perhaps are affecting you now. So you may well be working through old childhood wounds here. And maybe that's why you're feeling like you have to stand up for yourself. Queen of Swords coming out, beautiful. For some of you would be dealing with air signs, Libra, Gemini or Aquarius, but this person here is ready to speak their piece. So if you've got somebody you have thought through what you wanted to think through, it may have stirred up some issues from your childhood, maybe the way you respond to things, maybe the way you react. But I can see with the Queen of Swords here that you're ready now to cut out what does not serve you or be able to speak your piece here. And because of that, you have a bright, stable new beginning. So it's like once you discard all this stuff that's here and the stuff in the mini read regarding perhaps things you've held on to, could be family disagreements, could be family that you don't get along well with, then you can move on your merry way and feel a little bit more comfortable here. Oh, there's two. Interesting. Queen of Wands coming out here. So I think this is you now, really sort of understanding your direction, understanding the way you want to go. You could be dealing with a Leo, Sag or Aries, but I feel like this is your energy here. I feel like you're really taking charge of things after some sort of disagreement here that's left you sort of doing a life review. And there you are, moving forward with a lot of passion and energy. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords, which looks like there's been some sort of anxiety over this whole situation. Some sort of fear has been raised here. And sometimes our fears and our inability to move forward can be because we do need to go through a process of renewal and look back at childhood fears, things that happened during our childhood that still hold us back as adults, things that perhaps you really haven't seen or know about. They can be completely subconscious. They may be the way you react to things, your over emotional, stress related things. You may have never been taught to work with things the way that you could work with them, or you may not have a self-belief that you can do something here. And it feels to me like you're overcoming a lot of this here. Okay, Knight of Pentacles, moving forward very slowly here. I feel that it's got something to do with some sort of offer here of money. It looks like you're having some sort of disagreement with somebody about money. And it could be something to do with the childhood thing, which makes me feel like it could be an inheritance, something like that. But you've got a lot of cards that say you're going to find your own stability in this situation. So let me just go over it again. I definitely see you here defending yourself. I don't know what it's about, but you are really up to make sure that you're okay here. You have spoken out. It's like you've expressed yourself here. And you've brought in some sort of balance, which has resulted in some sort of victory. But look, see these boundaries? For some of you, this can be put you trying to manage people around you, family, friends, could be lovers, but it looks more like a more family type situation. I feel that something's happened where you've had to stand your ground. I feel like it's something where people have perhaps, I don't want to say used you, but maybe people have been a little abusive towards you in terms of expecting things from you. And I feel that somehow or another here, you've started to understand how to put your boundaries down. And it's like you've laid the boundaries down and you've put up with this sort of deluge of people coming at you, something in that regard. Because it's like you've been now trying to understand why you treat people. You may be a people pleaser, and it's like you're trying to understand now why things like this happen to you. And some of it is about sort of that child mentality again coming back here. And here you are trying to sort through the reasons why here. So Spirit has raised something for you here that you need to put right, that you need to look at from a different perspective. Because what it's saying here is that you have a better future if you just go and live in your own truth here. I feel like with this Queen of Wands, you're starting to understand your own personal power. And because of that, you're bringing in some sort of abundance here. And even though you're restricted by what's happened in the past, you're now able to move forward with a new way of looking at things. So it's sort of like you're understanding your own personal value. I think in regards to some sort of family or friend situation here, where perhaps people haven't treated you in a way that you deserve. So they're sort of saying commodity here, and I feel like sometimes in families and with friends, people sort of view you as something that belongs to them or as an extension of them rather than seeing you as the person you are. And I feel this is why you've had to go inside here. It's like you're trying to understand why people don't see you as you are and why they don't sort of respect you for being who you are. It's like you feel that, you're disrespected here. But I want to say to you, it's all good, because whatever work you're doing here, you're advancing yourself very well, and there's beautiful stability coming here. And you'll be able to release this sort of bondage that you've kept yourself in, this prison that you've made for yourself, because you understand how you need to move forward. Sorry, Taurus, that was a bit of a long reading, that one. Okay, so we have card 28 of building blocks coming out for you. Now, this is about sort of building good foundations. And obviously, when you look back here at the story, there hasn't been good foundations for you. I think you've built a lot of your foundations in how other people see you rather than how you see yourself. And that's really doesn't benefit you any, but I think you're realizing that now. So it talks about strong foundations and a beautiful work in progress. It says you have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. So when I said you're walking into your truth and you're spending time really understanding who you are, that to me says, you know, you've got a great destiny in front of you. You've just got to really live true to yourself. Have a great week, Taurus.